Hey everybody, Ben here from Cinderblock Studios, and welcome to How to Be an Artist Part 6. I want to talk today about building a space that you think is inspiring. So it's a little after midnight. It's now, I guess, Saturday morning. I'm late. I have not edited and uploaded a video yet. It won't be this one. It'll be something else. This is probably coming out the week after. Well, the week that this comes out, the video I'm talking about was probably last week. So I'm kind of down here wandering around in the studio a little bit, and it's something I do a lot, specifically because I don't always have a lot of time to paint. So I'm looking for general inspiration. I'll come down and I'll just look at all the colors of paint that I have here, and I'll pick up a tube and look at it for a little bit and go, yeah, it's an interesting color. I like that. I gotta try and use that sometime and do something with it. And I put it back, and that's a lot of times that's just enough for me for that day, just to come down and look at things, and look at colors, and look at ideas and potentials and things like that. And I'll go over and look at the wall and have all my color mixing charts up. Okay, some of this and some of that, and that's an interesting color. I'll try and use that maybe tomorrow when I'm working, or something like that. And as I was doing this evening, I was thinking, okay, it's odd for this to be a sort of a ritual for me to some degree, but it's also, I think, really important, and it's something that I've built over time. I think I've talked about it once or twice, about how I started sort of my collection of art supplies by just having a table in the corner of a room, most of which underneath was just piles of crap and papers and whatever else. But there was a lot of things I would just go down, and I wouldn't even have to make anything. I would just sit and just look at everything and start to feel inspired. And I think that's sort of my tip for this part of this video. It's probably not the longest version of how to be an artist, because it's I guess a simpler concept, and it's this idea that if you're going to build a space, if you're going to build an art studio, whether that be something of this size or something significantly smaller, whether that be just a table in the corner of a room or a corner of a table in the corner of the room, or whatever you happen to have, it's important to build a space to work in that subsequently then inspires you to work in that space. So everything down here, everything I surround myself with in the studio, are potential ideas. They're projects. They're things I scribble this, and I'll put it aside, and maybe I won't touch it for 2 months. Then I'll come back to it and finish it and sign it and frame it. Or maybe they're things that I just crank out and do immediately. A lot of my paintings are like that. But every time I come down, specifically because this is in my basement, I walk out of my car into my door and then upstairs. So I have to come through the studio every day when I come home from work. So for me, it's about I walk through this space, and I would want to curate it to be an interesting space. And so, again, my tip is that whatever you do, whether you're a digital artist or a traditional artist, whatever your space is for creating, curate it like it's a museum, like it's an art exhibit. Hang stuff on your walls if you're able to. It doesn't have to be a nail. You can tape it. I think a lot of these things are hung up with Velcro because it's sticky on both sides. But creating a space that is both conducive to creating art practically is important, but also creating a space that is interesting. Uh, like for me, it's the way I organize stuff, the way I put things together, which is more subconscious in a lot of ways. But it's also about how do I take this stuff and make it that I can come down here and both have easy access, but also be like, ooh, look at this thing. You know, it is its own adventure coming into the studio. So if you're an artist of any sorts, whatever your space is, make it unique, make it your own, and make it somewhere that is definitely worth coming to, as an event, as a trip. For me, when I make a painting, I escape into the painting, because the painting is my adventure. But when I'm not painting, coming into the studio is that adventure for me. And in a lot of ways, I hope that somewhat living vicariously through the videos, you go on a little bit of an adventure along with me here at Cinderblock Studios. So thanks guys for watching. Part 6 here of How to Be an Artist. I like this series. I like talking about my ideas behind creating and behind things like this. I think this topic was definitely worth talking about. Is building this space that you love. And that's what my studio has always been through the years. It's taken probably 15 years to build it between the old studio and this new one, building it into what it is today. So it's a long process. It won't be an overnight thing. You can't do it in a day. But as you grow as an artist, build your space and make it inspiring to both be in and inspiring to create things in. And I think that's all I have to say for today. So, yeah, subscribe for more. I will see you guys next time.